most feckless, the most the most irresponsible, and the one whose big stain on his career, Chappaquiddick, ultimately prevented him from successfully pursuing the White House in the way that his brother John did, and his other brother Robert Kennedy most likely would have if he were not assassinated in 1968 as well. So this movie is, it dives back into the kind of shadiest aspect of that legend of Camelot that the Kennedys embodied. Here we have the night of, dramatized, Jason Clarke playing Ted Kennedy, and then probably the best parts of the movie, the week after, which the part of the story that I did not know was that the very next day after Chappaquiddick happened was the day that Neil Armstrong landed on the moon and walked on the moon. So this was an incredibly, just beatific, busy news cycle, one that the Kennedys could not have asked for a better one, but also a more painful contradiction in terms of President John Kennedy being such a strong proponent of NASA and the kind of space race and the U.S. space system in general, and then on the flip side, here we have the tawdriest of scandals happening in his backyard of Chappaquiddick. It's a movie that explores, again, privilege is the key word, I think, when understanding this movie and this point in Ted Kennedy's career, and I don't know, maybe the entirety of his career, the sense that if you have enough connections, if you pull enough, popular and political weight, then you are able to escape even, the manslaughter or murder or whatever you want to describe, however you want to describe this accident. The death of an innocent young woman ultimately becomes a political opportunity for this man. And I think Clarke, in his performance as Ted Kennedy, embodies that sense of always being right and everyone else always being wrong. He's a kind of brooding young man who does not necessarily want to inherit the throne that is presented before him, but he feels that Kennedy obligation. He is the next in line, the last of the surviving four Kennedy brothers, the one who is supposed to to uphold this great promise that the Kennedys presented to Americans in the 1960s of fusing a sense of privilege, glamour, and public service and idealism. And of course, the hedonism was something I think that people could not keep their eyes off of as well. Kennedy, again, he's the only of the brothers to live to old age. He's not assassinated, not died in a plane crash. Died in 2009, I think at the age of 77 or 78.
2008.
I think it was 2009. But
you could argue with me if you want.
But he died quite recently, and was a very important supporter of Barack Obama in his bid to be president in 2008.
That's why I know he never saw him to raise his hand to take the oath.
I honestly, I'm not sure. I take your word for it. I was looking at it yesterday.
We're over here talking, and he's like.
I was looking at it yesterday, and I thought that he died in 2009. But regardless, he was a very
Amish on me. I don't touch the computer, Joe.
Up until up until the latest, and most
Ted Kennedy, man.
So all you gotta do is he died in August of 2009. It looks like
August of 2009.
Yeah, 2009.
Okay.
So this is probably a story that
correct. You're right. I stand corrected
because it was after the Obamacare.
He voted for Obamacare. Yeah. Exactly. That's right.
So this is a story that Republicans have kind of feasted on for the past 5 decades to show the hypocrisy of the shining family in Democratic political history. This is something that Richard Nixon's kind of dirty campaign aides did a lot of research into in Nixon's re-election bid in 1972, and ultimately cost Kennedy his any presidential prospects he had in 72, 76, and then he actually did run for president in 1980, but could not articulate why he wanted to run for president besides being a Kennedy, and ultimately lost out to incumbent Jimmy Carter.
Is that really why?
It was one of the reasons. I mean,
is that really why? Because I lived through it. Were you there?
Whoa. I'm just saying from my understanding of the historical record that it was it was a combination.
You're right. Who just went off that bridge?
It was a
Tom.
No. Whoa. Well, hey, if you I'm actually big reason I wanted to bring up this movie is, I wanted to hear your thoughts on this historical moment, but also on Ted Kennedy. I mean, Ted Kennedy was kind of a defining political figure for people I don't know how old you are, Joe, but really anyone over...
I'm 92.
Anyone paying attention to politics in the past 2, 3, 4 decades cannot escape the legacy of Ted Kennedy, because he was like the quintessential senator, crossing party lines to get bills like the Americans with Disability Act passed, pushing, always to strengthen the Voting Rights Act, but also always embroiled in controversies and scandals that his brothers were certainly no strangers to, especially John Kennedy, but because of the endurance of Ted Kennedy, he always seemed to be wrapped up in the most tawdry of them.
Correct, Harry. I was wrong again. You want a damn Joey's wrong again cookie? Is that what you want, Harry?
Yes, please.
You want a Joey's wrong again? How you want a chocolate chip one?
But
follow me.
But Joe, when you hear the word what does Chappaquiddick mean to you? It's this like mystery.
Chappaquiddick, what does it mean to me?
Yeah, like when you hear
when I hear Chappaquiddick, I think of God. It's just like, you have mixed emotions about this thing, because you tend to love the Kennedys. Someone said to me once, all the things that you said that Ted Kennedy has done. Someone once asked me, did he really do it because he thought it was the right thing to do, or did he really do it because of a connection to it? I.e., the Disabilities Act was his son, i.e., health care, he was old, i.e., if you listen...
Well, he was pushing for health care going back to the late 1960s.
Yeah, Dad was also in a chair, and who was going to take care of... There's a lot of stuff that people just point. There's a bunch of stuff out there that people... I mean, this person just laid out a whole bunch of stuff that... Did he really do it because of others? Or did he do it because it was close to him? And I like...
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent,
I don't know.
I don't actually think that matters too much. I think that when the policies that you're pushing for do have such a broad, sweeping kind of social impact, whether the motivation is strictly a personal one or purely altruistic, I think it's maybe a bit better to when pushing for affordable quality healthcare for all, whether that's coming from a selfish point of view or not, it doesn't matter so much as maybe whether or not someone's pushing some bill that's going to enrich them personally. Like that's something where I want to know the motivation. But if it's because his son, you're right. I forget if his son was in an accident or had cancer, but lost his leg very early in life. And if that was, the Kennedys and the Shrivers have long been involved in the disability rights movement.
And when you talk about, you speak of the Shriver, Kit Shriver pushed forward because of their sister who had mental illness.
Right, Rosemary Kennedy.
Rosemary Kennedy, right. Yeah. There's a lot of...
But it just blows my mind that this man literally killed someone.
You see, that's where the mixed emotion comes in.
Well, I know that's
where the mixed emotion.
And a lot of voters in Massachusetts.
He was reckless. Okay, he was reckless. We all could say he should have. I personally think he should have went back and helped this woman. He should save her life. But I think he spent the rest of his life trying to make up for that. That was my explanation to the individual who was saying that all these things. I said, maybe he did something wrong, and he spent the rest of his life using his platform to make up for it. The road to redemption, eh?
Yeah, I think that's quite a moving interpretation of his very long life of service. I mean, and we very proudly live in a state that champions itself as a second chance society where people who do commit crimes are given a second chance to reintegrate in society, become productive citizens. But I do think that this guy.
He did get away with something that was really heinous. I mean, you left someone to die in a car in the bottom of a damn river,
and then not reporting it for nearly 10 hours. I think it's one of those things where the cover up is, well, I don't want to say as bad as the crime because someone died. Someone died in this accident. But it's really, I mean, again, like. For anyone who's familiar with the story, I think this movie, although a dramatized version, this is not a documentary, I think is a good primer on this very bizarre and important moment in 1960s and subsequent political history. But also, Clark gives a really solid performance. Ted Kennedy was a pretty fascinating character who, he was very difficult not to like, except when he was committing things with such irresponsibility that he was endangering everyone around him. In the case of Chappaquiddick.
So where is this showing now? Is this at the Criterion? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you have? This is something I was asked, so I figured I should ask you publicly. Do you have some kind of special deal with the Criterion? Because you always talk about movies that are there.
Did someone really ask?
Someone asked me. No,
it's fair. All I can say is I wish I had a special deal with the Criterion. If I did, I would certainly no. So the reason I go to the Criterion so frequently is, one, I live in New Haven, and two, I don't have a car, so I can't really walk to any other movie theater. Besides, I do.
You got a bike, huh?
And occasionally, I do bike up to Cine 1, 2, 3, 4. But
which one?
There is another movie theater in New Haven.
Yeah,
it's off of Middletown Avenue.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Off of Route 80. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's kind of old cinder block of a building,
right?
Perched on the hill. Yeah, it's right on the North Haven border. So that movie theater also is in New Haven.
I remember seeing a lot of movies there as a kid.
Yeah, that one's been around for a while.
I remember when they used to show the Bollywood movies there too.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah!
Cool.
Oh yeah! They redid this place though. Huh. I mean, it was owned by two brothers for years. Do they still own it?
I don't know, but I've only been a couple times, and it really looks like it has not been remodeled in the past 5 or 6 decades. I mean, it's just like old, cinder block.
Oh yeah, you can smell popcorn carpet, from '74 still in the carpet. I know.
But I mean, so I go because it's within walking and biking distance.
Got 6 roaches. Who cares?
I go to the Criterion. But
I'm just jokey jokes. I don't know this.
Yeah.
All right, people.
But indeed, yes, Chappaquiddick, playing downtown. If this is a part of Kennedy lore that you're interested in throwing yourself back into in this perpetual moment of political crisis, then it may be good to look back at a Democrat who embodied the same amount of privilege, but maybe took that privilege to help others, as opposed to what we see in the White House today. So maybe a counter model for.
You see, here's the difference, and we're just going to tap on this real quick, and then we're going to move on. Like you said, the Kennedy, or should I say Ted Kennedy, took all his privilege. So did Bobby as well, too, by the way. They took all their privilege, and they pushed it towards helping others. This guy in the White House today is trying to get a loan for 666 Fifth Avenue. And the devils, they're trying to oh gosh, I could go on. But anyway, that's what it is. Yeah. I got Clark not on my side this morning. I got so much that I got to cover, but I do thank you very much.
Always great to be here.
The name of the movie is Chappaquiddick. It's being played at the Criterion, downtown New Haven. It covers the Kennedy, the last Kennedy brother, which is Ted Kennedy, the last of the 4 Kennedy brothers, the original brothers, which is Ted Kennedy. And covers about a dark. By the way, you raised something that I did not know. I did not know Neil Armstrong walking on the moon.
The very next day. Isn't that wild?
You talk about his brother must have been like, what can we do to get this off the headline?
Yeah. That's how the movie plays it as well. It's like we cannot, the only thing that would distract from this scandal is if someone were walking on the moon. Fortunately, someone's about to walk on the moon tomorrow.
There you go.
Maybe we can downplay this.
Like, can somebody tell Neil to show up in Arizona desert and hop around? Neil Armstrong, that is. We will tell him he walked on the moon. They'll never know.
Conspiracy Joe, I forgot that.
I'm just saying, I don't care about all that stuff. Are you kidding me? They say they walk on the moon. Who am I to argue? I wasn't there.
Word.
If they say they walk on the moon, they walked on the moon. What difference does it make to me if they walked on the moon or not?
I walked under the moon.
Really? They walked on the moon, so what? All these years it was alive. But they give us hope for all these years. Shut up. Shut up. We have space travel because of that lie. What are you crying about? Shut up.
But I guess for the point of the movie, at least the metaphorical counterpoint between something as grand as someone walking on the moon and then something as terrible as someone drowning a young woman in a body of water off of Martha's Vineyard. It's
you use these words that I'm just not comfortable with. It's just like I don't like to hear he drowned. That means
right,
he
the
deliberately
woman,
did
the woman
it.
drowned. Yeah,
somebody died, and he was reckless about handling the situation. That's the difference. That's all I'm saying. All right,
Chappaquiddick.
Chappaquiddick, shown at the Criterion. Thank you very much, Tom.
Definitely.
Really do.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Tom Brain, my man.
I thought he said Chapel Quidditch. I was like, we getting a team? I said, all right, Harry Potter. Where's my
Oh,
phone?
man. He called him a murderer, Harry. He called Ted Kennedy a murderer. You guys should. What's the overly apologetic for this guy because he's Democrat? No, he's not. Jesus, God. Harry. You know what?
Don't speak ill of the dead, Harry.
Yeah, you know what, Harry? Whatever. So you want to talk about somebody who we talk about, who we're going to talk about, Harry, that's not a Democrat? No, not Trump.
No.
No, not Trump. It ends in Y and starts with C. Let's just talk about Comey.
Yay! Whee!
So James Comey, by the way, dropped a book. He's dropping a book this week. Drop date is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tuesday the 17th. And he's going on the promotion tour right now. And he was on last night on ABC with Jess Stephanopoulos and talking about this book. And it just goes to show what I was saying about this Comey guy. A week ago, when this all, a week or two ago when this started talking about the book, but I've been saying it for the longest, actually. He wanted Hillary Clinton to be a wounded dove going in. I've been singing this for the longest. And if you hear the excerpts of the book and you hear the stuff that he's talking about, I was correct.
Yeah.
I would love to sit here in front of you this morning and say I stand corrected, but I was correct. Here's this guy. I mean, you don't got to like Trump. You don't got to be there. But I'm always on edge about people who try to be the moral compass of society. I'm always sketchy about those individuals.
As you should be.
Because morality is still it is a level of subjection, really. Because one person might think is immoral, the other might think is, this is moral. It still is. I know some people don't agree with me. That's fine. You don't have to. I'm not over here trying to get you to agree with everything I say and do any damn way. That's not where I'm going with this. I still leave you the process of free thinking. Okay, Harry? You can free think that one too. But I just think that this guy want to be the moral compass of, who else was the head of the FBI that thought he had the moral compass on things?
Oh, pick me.
Who was it, sir?
J. Edgar Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover.
Whee! I win!
Oh, wait, did I have to answer that in the form of a question?
This is a man who had such moral compass, but was one of the most hateful, racist in law enforcement.
Yes, he was. Not to mention he was hiding a few things in his closet, Mr. Moral Compass.
Mr. Moral Compass. But what he was, that's the crazy thing about it. What he was hiding wasn't even immoral.
No.
That was his way of life. But that's that whole thing about moral compass. That's where you're running around and people are saying that, because it was said that he was gay, but he would never embrace that side publicly. But however, he had this moral compass of its time to say that Martin Luther King was a womanizer and this and that, the other. Oh, you are. This guy ran it up the flagpole that Martin Luther King was a womanizer. This is what he did, Mr. Moral Compass.
Didn't he make Martin Luther King the most dangerous man in America?
Absolutely. Called him the most dangerous man, all because the man was standing up for equality. Equality, that was it. That was it. He was not running for best husband of the year, most committed husband of the year. He was just standing up for equality. But these people show up on the on their soapbox with their moral compasses in their hand, and they're telling you follow them. You know, come on. You know, this is how James Comey. I mean, I hope you sell books, but you wouldn't get my sale. You're not gonna get a sale from me. That's just not gonna happen.
Buddy.
I'll just wait for the excerpts. They'll talk enough about it.
Of course they will.
I don't need to read his book. I mean, you don't gotta like Trump. But who are you to try to be his moral compass, you know? That ain't your job. Your job is to see if you're breaking the law. That's your job. You know, is there those who say, well, you know, your moral compass is a guidance in if you're going to break the law or not. Well, investigate. Investigate. What is this? What was that movie Tom Cruise was in where he could predict a
Minority
crime?
Report.
What's that?
Minority Report.
What is this? A Minority Report? Where you arrest somebody before they commit the crime? No. That's not how it works.
I'm impressed every time he does that side note.
I love that. That's why I ask him. He's the greatest. Full court the Amish.
Hey.
You know? The black Amish. But anyway, we don't just run around just arresting and that's not what our legal system is. That's not how it's set up. We're not judge, jury, and executioner. Now he wants to talk about Trump and his moral compass and all of that stuff. And based on the excerpts I heard, you know, he's in the book. He writes about Trump being, you know, the 10 lines. His, you know, around his eyes show that you know, like you know, the white around his eye. You know, he's a 10. What does all of that got to do with anything?
Nothing.
The small hands that he had. What does that got to do with anything?
Sound like he got pete.
Exactly.
I hear imagery.
Oh yeah, he did
You know?
call him orange or something like that.
Yeah, he called him orange and all that stuff. I mean, what is that? Yeah, his hair, this and that. What are you doing?
Sounds like an author to me. It's imagery.
I mean, unless Comey is trying to get a morning show, I mean, none of this stuff makes a difference. That's punchlines from morning shows, man. All that stuff he piled on in the book, I mean, it just, that alone just tell me this is just a book full of nothing.
Nothing. Nonsense.
A book full of, well, do you got any excerpts on it? Full court?
I didn't get any excerpts.
Ah, forget it.
Like, I'm trying to find something. Amazon normally lets you read a couple pages.
Yeah, I get these excerpts and you're like, wait, are they serious? I mean, no, Jesus. I just like, you know, it's real bad when I don't take notes on it. You know, I was just like, I don't care. The 11 most eye-opening lines in James Comey's
A Higher Loyalty.
A Higher Loyalty book. That's the name of it. A Higher Loyalty. What? I don't even get that. You know, comes in and he's super judgmental. It's just like I don't know. And I'm not bent because he threw the election for Donald Trump, which is what he did. He literally got Trump elected. I mean, we got Carter who used to stand across this console and argue how corrupt Hillary Clinton was. Remember? This guy would go in on me, how corrupt the Clintons are, how corrupt they are. And, you know, if I put a spotlight on Carter, you'd be like, oh, ho, ho. You put a spotlight on anyone, you can find their faults. On anyone.
Anyone.
Nah, big up, but it's next level. You know that old saying about when you point one finger at someone, you got 3 of them pointing back at
Sure
you?
do.
That is so true, you know? That is so true, you know? I'm not saying Carter's corrupt, but I'm quite sure he's got faults that he don't want people to know about. Just because these people live in the spotlight don't mean that you have the right to just rampage on their stuff like that. It's just wrong. And the first thing comes to hand is what it is. No, that's just wrong. And if you dare say, what about Trump, Harry? If you dare say, what about Trump? I could run through a list of stuff. A list of stuff why I could call this man a racist. What happened? He said something?
Yeah, he did.
What did he say?
He said, you're auditioning for MSNBC.
Go ahead.
He also said, what a surprise, Joe is actually being reasonable, and you're going to believe this leaking liar.
I'm going to believe this leaking lie.
Yeah.
That's what he thought I was going to say, right?
Yeah.
I believe him. And then, of course, I prove him wrong. See, Harry? I would tell you get on your jack donkey and get the hell out of here, but you are the jack donkey. See? He goes, I stared at the soft, white, puffy under his expressionless blue eyes. What the heck was all that about? What are you doing? I remember thinking in that moment that the president doesn't understand the FBI role in America's life. What was the need for him to put in there that it's soft, white pouches under his expression? What was the need for that? What's that? I got, you know, it's just all that stuff. Look, let me tell you
I was
something.
going with imagery, but he just went way left after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no
Yeah.
excuse for it.
It's like some of the stuff, man. It's just like he got in this book. It's all I got out of this book is James Comey is a dangerous dude. That's all I got out of this. As a minority in this country, knowing this guy has these opinions, he's dangerous. That's all I got out of it. He's dangerous to my community. Guys like him, they're just super dangerous. They run on their inner beliefs. What's the difference between James Comey and someone from the suburbs who believe all black people steal? What's the difference? He's riding on this moral high horse of what he believes is such. I'm just saying. What's the
paychecks.
damn difference?
Their paychecks.
There you go.
And a little bit of power and authority.
What's the difference between him and the difference between him and a regular cop out here who looks down the nose at others? There's no difference. There's absolutely no difference. And he's expressed this in this book. James Comey will put some bugs all over a black man's spot in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I'm just saying. It just based on this stuff. Look at him. We want to be comparison like he compared Donald Trump to a mob boss. James Comey will do the exact thing J. Edgar Hoover did. The exact thing. That's the way I see it.
What?
What's that?
So I'm going through a couple of these lines. And
Yeah.
apparently, there was some urination around people going on.
You didn't know about this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. I read the next line. Yeah, I do. Okay.
Oh, in Russia.
Yeah. I read the next line. The next line after that cleared that up.
You know, there's a way he had to highlight
Yeah.
that Trump was, the bathroom was used on him and all that stuff in a hotel room. Okay, if that's his thing, that's his thing. Who are you to judge him, Comey?
It's a gossip book.
You know? I mean, I never tried it. I don't have no interest in trying it. That's not my thing.
This book must have been co-authored by Corinne Steffens.
But no, my point is, this is what happens when people judge people. It's like J. Edgar Hoover would have judged this, and he's got a secret bedroom life that he don't want nobody else to know.
Right.
What else is next? Imagine he found out that somebody, I just put it out there. I'm a mad choker. So what? So what? So what? You run that up the flagpole to try to get somebody to salute with your moral compass? Just saying, these are the things that people just get on. It's like, oh God. In the Mormon community, this kid starts laughing. Why you laugh? I just want to know.
Why you
Just
laughing?
keep remembering the joke, that's all. Just flashback to the joke.
You gotta speak up, man. Nobody can hear you. Trying to talk all sexy early in the morning because it's raining out? The hell? There are people who hear us who's not in the raining area. Jesus Christ. Now nobody want to hear you trying to talk all sexy early in the morning anyway. You sound like a frog with an eye head. I don't know what the hell I meant.
I don't know what. Man, I'm following.
If you saw him, you know what I meant.
I sound like a frog with a voice changer on it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Trying to sound all sexy first thing in the morning. What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Proud of my eyebrows this morning, Joe.
I wear my thumbnails with my face again, Joe. All right. So any other news?
Attorneys for President Donald Trump have asked a federal judge to let them review files confiscated from the president's personal attorney, Michael Cohen.
To which, of course, Michael Avenatti is going to be in court today with Stormy Daniels right next to him. Yay! Like, oh, you reviewing papers? We're reviewing papers. How's that going to work out? Mike Cohen, look over here. Look who's over here. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
Goes down today, right?
Today, yeah.
Oh, man.
Today.
They're reviewing papers.
Today.
Michael Avenatti, I'm telling you right now, wait till you find out that this guy, he's over there with, he already crossed the street.
You already crossed the street?
He's a silent partner of Bob Mueller.
This is gonna be good.
Oh, it's gonna be real good.
This is raining for a reason.
It's raining for a reason. It's raining in for today, baby.
Yeah,
in the Northeast.
Seriously.
So anyway, I really want to know what in the name of God does Mike Flynn have on Trump? I really want to know.
Okay.
Me too.
There are those who are saying Trump was signaling to Manafort, Flynn, and Kushner, and a few others when he pardons,
Sure.
when they get the president pardon to Scooter Libby on Friday.
Oh, what, he pardoned somebody else?
He pardoned Scooter Libby.
Lord!
Scooter Libby, in case you don't know, was an individual who outed a CIA operative and then lied under oath and ended up getting time in jail. And then
He doesn't deserve a
Trump
pardon.
Jr. commuted his sentence but stopped short of pardoning him, which is the name claims end of it. So Trump comes in and he pardoned him. And I want to know, what the hell does Mike Flynn have on him? And to all those people who, like Manafort, Kushner, they're saying, oh, that's who he was signaling to?
Right.
Yeah, right. He was only signaling to Mike Flynn. Let's connect the dots.
Word, let's do it.
There are reports that nothing got Trump more.
Hi, this is Bella, and you are listening. W N H L P 1 O 3 point 5 F M New Haven streaming live at
www.
www.
Dot. New Haven Independent.
No, yeah.
Perfect. .org.
.org.
Okay, you got that whole song this morning because Harry was locked out in the stairwell, and then the Elm family dental people were calling to confirm an appointment for one of my kids. So it's one of these days, man. It's raining cats and dogs and dinosaurs and spiders and you know what? You know what I would have preferred? I would have preferred to have been in a swanky hotel room looking out at the rain. That's what I would have preferred. I'm so not living the life of my dreams just quite right or yet. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Well, I tell you what, it's better than snow. Minneapolis is getting pummeled. God bless y'all. It's not snow, although Harry did say they got snow in Waterbury this morning. He had to kind of clean off his car. I was like, oh, I don't want snow here. I'm not in the mood for that. So it's my sister's birthday, Robin Guathney. Happy birthday. I was trying to cue up some music that you like, and I have none. I have none. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do because there's nothing. I was trying to find some house music, and then I was trying to find some Patti LaBelle, and then I was trying to find Colonel Abrams. Oh, my God. So it's just been Michelle Turner, what? New Haven, 450 NHAC. Now I got to go look up the numbers. This is too much. Too much. All right, so this is my morning. Oh, my God, it's Motown Monday, but I wasn't trying to play Motown music. Ugh. This rain has really got everybody crazy. Well, I'll speak for myself. It's got me crazy. It's raining. All right, let me see. How about this? I'll start with some Stevie Wonder to set the mood for some higher ground, and then I'll come back on the other side. Hi, this is Bass Girls ID. All right, I feel like I've reached higher ground now. I just needed to, I don't know what I needed, but I needed to do something because the rain in Spain is mainly on the plain. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. My Fair Lady.
Okay, you've reached, I think, your higher ground.
Harry's like, I think you've reached higher ground.
I'm not even close.
Oh my God, Harry. The weekend was good. I had a good time. This was a great weekend. I was in the bed all day yesterday because I got in about 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God. So, what did we do? What did we do? I could tell you what we did. Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, I had kicked off with the girlfriends because they've got the Kentucky Derby luncheon coming up on May 5th. I'm excited about that. I got my Kentucky Derby hat, so I'm ready. Then we, the squad, we caught up and met up with, what did we do? I got to check my notes, i.e. Instagram. It'll tell me what I was doing. It's telling me what I was doing. Because God knows I don't remember what the hell I was doing. I never know. I know Saturday I went to the York Noodle House for the first time. That was good. I've never been there. It's always thrilling to me to go to places in this town, because this is my town, that I've never been. So me, Markeisha, and Ife went to the Noodle House. It was good. I was thinking about the Noodle House. Let's see. From there, we went over to Morris College to hear Nicholas Payton give a lecture on Black American music, which he says is more descriptive of jazz than jazz. Jazz was always jive-ass music, right? That's what white folks used to call it. So it's really Black American music. I kind of like that a lot. So anyway, we went to hear the lecture. That was really good. And then, let's see. Saturday night, you know what? I couldn't get into Amoy Saturday night. I could not get into my restaurant because there was a private party. I came with all my wine. We showed up and they were like, oh, Babz, we're so sorry. And there was not a table to be had. They had a private party, which I'm happy for. But I was just like, because when I walked in, I saw people sitting in my seat. You know, I'm like, all right, no matter, I'll go sit somewhere else. Let somebody else enjoy the corner. And then I looked around, there was no place. So they were having a private party. So, and the person who was having the private party came up, and we know who they were. So, you know, we left the party. I mean, we just had, it was one of those days we couldn't get, the whole day was like chasing. We couldn't eat. We couldn't get anywhere. It was like, we did go to the concert Saturday night, which was really good. So we found some I got parking. We went Saturday night, hung out, heard the concert, picked up our pizzas, went over to Michelle's house, drink up all that good liquor, wine, tequila, vodka. Oh my God. I did go to Moon Rocks Cookies.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Because we were having such a tough time because we didn't get anything to eat since lunch. So Markeisha suggested, you know, because I was like going full Joe Pesci mode. You know how you like that commercial where you're not yourself if you're hungry?
Yeah. The Snickers commercial.
So I think I was Samuel L. Jackson. And Markeisha was like, okay, let's go have some cookies because you might be hangry. So we went to Moon Rocks, and we get in there, and they have vegan cookies, except they're pretty much all sold out. It's like, damn it. So, but the ones that I had 4 cookies, and a big giant cup of coffee. They make a good ass cup of coffee. I will tell you that. Moon Rocks over there on over there by Toads. They make a good coffee. I was like, ooh, this is a good coffee. So I had a big cup of coffee and some.
I forgot her name, but the CEO was here Thursday with Alyssa, and she brought some cookies. She brought cheesecake cookies, chocolate chip cookies.
Yes, none of those I could eat, but they have vegan cookies. So she said she's going to expand it. She said because every time she puts the vegan cookies out, Harry, they sell out. I was like, okay, baby. She got some good traffic right there. So, and she's next to Blue State, which, I'm trying to get them on the show, the Blue State coffee people. Because, I was sitting next to Marsha Rubin in Amoy's a couple of weeks ago, and we struck up a conversation. He was like, oh, yeah, we own Blue State. Had a good conversation about where else they could go in the city. But I actually think Blue State is my favorite place. And in lieu of the mess that Starbucks pulled this weekend.
Philadelphia, though, right?
Yeah.
Not here.
It doesn't matter where it is. Wherever black people are, we messed with. So I got gripe about that. Should we boycott? The threat of boycott was enough to get the CEO on TV and gave a really good heartfelt apology to Good Morning America. He convinced me. So, and I feel sincere that he's getting to the root of it. And the guy who they was coming to, the guy who was the friend who showed up was to meet his friends. He was like, "What is going on?" He was baffled. He's like, "Are you kidding me?"
Like, what did they do?
He's like,
"What are you doing?"
Did you see him?
Yeah, and there was the old lady they interviewed.
There was a bunch of white people in there.
Yeah, that said,
and
I sit here all the time and don't buy stuff.
And they never asked me a damn thing. I sit here in my whiteness and just sit here, and nobody. So these brothers are sitting in there waiting for their friend. Because, when you meet somebody, Harry, you don't want to get your stuff before they get their stuff because you want to wait so you all could enjoy it all together. I don't understand that foolishness. And what possessed that person to just, I can see if they was, I don't even know if I can see if they was making a fuss, but they was just sitting there like, all right, talking, we waiting for our boy. When he comes, we'll order our coffee and whatever the hell else Starbucks serves up.
That's why as a CEO, I think all you could do is apologize because
you
never know who you're hiring.
Well, you got to tighten up those. You got to go around every store and be like, listen, we got to have a conversation about profiling and what is acceptable, because y'all damaging the brand when you do this foolishness.
Right, but you never know when you're gonna hire that person
who's just gonna be stupid,
that can't get it out of their system.
Starbucks is not for you.
Yeah.
You go work at Chick-fil-A,
well, Chick-fil-A is a Christian place. That's not everybody criticizes them because of their Christianity, but I do recommend that they go work at registration for like white supremacists.
You know what? Go handle the tables at the Klan rallies, because I think that's a better deal for you. Then you don't have to worry about seeing no people of color of any sort. You get to see homogenized people, and you don't have to worry about this foolishness. I was so mad about that, Harry, and it's the tip. I'm mad because it just keeps, these things keep happening. Like, we could just be standing on the street and get accosted, right? Or we're on a wine train and white women will say, "Oh, those black women are loud." Just
That's like me with everybody. Oh.
Harry, they act like they don't want us to be anywhere. I'm like, what is
It was like this weekend. Let me tell you, what I did this weekend was be at the hospital a weekend with my mother.
Oh, why? Is
she
all
had
right?
knee surgery.
Oh, yeah. So how is she?
So it was motivating her to actually start moving her knee.
Yeah, so she could get out of there.
Right, so she could get out of there.
Because if you stay in the hospital too long, you get an infection.
Right? And also she has to heal right. You know,
yeah.
if she just keeps it. But she was in so much pain, she was going off a little. So they called me because she was cursing at the nurses. So I basically was in the hospital all weekend.
Oh my God, that is funny.
But then when everybody filled the room, everybody's so loud. So I'm just thinking because I was like, oh my God, can you people like turn it down, close that door? So so we
that's
don't
just
have
because
to.
you were annoyed, Harry. They probably wasn't loud.
So
It
just
just
close the
seemed
door.
loud.
No, we're loud. I'm like
Did
the
somebody come in
quietest.
and say, you Latino, shut up? No.
No, but I'm sure they were thinking it.
Well, yeah, but they didn't come do nothing.
I'm sure they were thinking if it
The
was
police
if it was
didn't
a
come.
Starbucks,
It was a Starbucks.
we'd be escorted out.
You'd be arrested, not escorted out. You're arrested. So that incident got on my nerves to the point where I've had enough of this foolishness. But Beyonce at Coachella, the queen at Coachella. So Beyonce goes to Coachella, the whitest event on the planet, second to a Klan rally, the whitest event in the world. White, just white. She goes and she has a HBC homecoming. She goes and gives them an HBCU homecoming. And everybody in the group is blackity black, 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 black. The dancers, the drummers, the steppers. Destiny's Child, her sister. Woo-wee. She gave him HBCU homecoming weekend in 2 hours. That's the kind of stuff you get when you go to Howard or Johnson C. Smith or Morehouse Spelman or Florida AME. FAMU, Florida AMU. When you go to FAMU or Tuskegee, that was a typical homecoming weekend. Or when you're at the pinnacle of homecoming weekends, A&T, North Carolina A&T, they set the tone and the trend for every homecoming. Like, their homecoming is so good, you don't even got to be an Aggie to go. I'm going next year, damn that. Because my school is shuttered, so I figured I'm an HBCU grad. That means I have license to go to anybody's homecoming and just, like, shake it up. So, yeah, so Beyonce gave everybody, at Morgan State. So she took all the HBCUs and rolled them into 2 hours. And these white folks didn't know what was going on. She created a whole Greek shield. The majority of her dancers and in the group was deltas. So she gave these white people some blackness that they ain't see coming. They were like, oh my God, is this what goes on in black colleges? Yes. And depending on where you are, that's like an every weekend kind of thing when there's a party on the quad. Oh! I know, because I went to HBCU. So Beyonce gave them a black homecoming weekend, and they didn't know what hit them. And she's 2 hours in heels and catsuit. She took it to them, and they didn't know what hit them. I was like, what? Now Coachella ain't gonna never be the same. And they don't know what the next year. They're not going to do this. They're going to go back to mayonnaise. We're going to have Taylor Swift. We're going to let her come with her banjo and do Earth, Wind, and Fire September. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have them and whoever else. They might be giants or something, Let them come and no more of this. I guarantee you they're not going to do this again. This is what the NFL should do. They want to woo people back. Let Beyonce handle the homecoming and bring all the black people. Instead of, they're always trying to force country music down our throats with this NFL foolishness. All right. Which football is not a country western sport, but they keep trying to marry the two. They just keep trying to do it. It's like, your league is very black. Why are you doing but that's my own. Let me go to Starbucks and get me a coffee. Harry, those guys went to jail.
You going straight on the line or you waiting? Chair. I don't know.
I'm going to go sit down and wait and see how long it takes for them to say I'm loitering. Harry, they went to jail. You know what? You know the thing that hurts me the most? It's like they didn't just escort them outside and have a conversation. They arrested them and took them to jail. And they didn't get out till 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning. With the, oh, I'm so sorry. We're not going to charge you with anything. Well, no, you're not going to charge us with anything because we didn't do a damn thing, but it was sitting while black. Oh, it just made me so mad, Harry, that they got arrested. Do you know what it takes to get arrested? Do you know you have to be handcuffed and shackled and then perp walked, and then you got to go get, it was just terrible. And then the black police commissioner talking about the police didn't do anything wrong.
It's always very confusing. These things
I don't. What did the police get to be called to task?
Well,
why don't they get in there and say, let me find out what the disturbance is, if there's a disturbance, and then say to the manager, ma'am, they're not doing anything. They have the right to sit and wait for their friend. See, that I wouldn't want to see that happen. Not, oh, let's just arrest them and then get to the heart of it then. That just seems more reasonable to me. But maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. You come upon a scene, there's no violence happening, right? You should be able to talk your way out of, the cop, out of a situation where you take people to jail. So you should be able to go in and say, what's the problem?
What's the problem?
Instead of just scooping people up. It's different if you come upon a violent scene.
Or somebody's flipping out. Because there's plenty of people flipping out.
But even flipping out, you could
there's no
everything all you want.
There's no law that says you can't flip out.
You could flip out, but you should be able, the first thing you should be able to do is calm the scene.
That's what I mean.
And find out what's going on.
And they walked into a calm scene.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just don't understand why. Listen, I had the cops coming to my house about my son because my son put his hands on me, right? My son. They didn't arrest him or me. I wanted them to arrest me because I was like, I'm ready for him to get the hell out of my house because he's disastrous. But they didn't. You know what they said to me? Ma'am, we don't want to arrest you. I was like, well, there's cops who don't want to arrest people? I was like,
I got the wrong cops.
I got the wrong cop. Let me call again. Let me call again. Let me keep calling until I get some cops who might arrest somebody.
You looked in the mirror and make sure you're still black.
Ma'am, we don't want to arrest. What? So I said, well, what would you do if I smacked the crap out of him right now and put a chair upside his head? Well, then we would have to arrest you. I said, well, let's go. I'm trying to, listen.
To avoid it.
Listen, before we even get there, you could just take me now because this is a scene. So I don't understand when they walk into a Starbucks on a calm day with calm people, and all the people sitting around are like, what is happening?
Right.
And they're trying to think everything other than it's race.
And the people around are witnesses for the guy.
Yes, and they were like, and then the guy that shows up is a white guy, their friend.
Their friend.
He's like, what is happening? He's like, what?
So it's like, okay, you're gonna take people to jail.
Yeah. See, so that was that moment where I just felt the level of defeat.
Well, that's a violation. I mean, as a human being, it's a violation.
Because I don't think that's in any police training to do that. I've been a police commissioner for 3 years or 4 years, or however long I served. And I know they're not trained to, they're trained to de-escalate situations. Yeah. There was no situation to de-escalate. Ask the questions and then like, okay, our work is done here. And these guys were calm the whole time. They didn't like show out or anything. They were respectful and they still, I didn't understand it. It just broke my spirit. That's what it did. It broke my spirit. On top of all the other foolishness that we contend with on a daily basis. It's one of these damn white people moments. Damn white people. So, that's all I'm going to say. So, did you watch the Comey interview? Oh, wait. Let me play some music and then I'll come back.
I didn't get to.
You didn't watch? Oh, my God.
No, I came from the hospital tired.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Did you tape it?
No, I'll look it up on YouTube before my show.
All right, I'm play some Diana Ross and Marvin Gaye. You are my everything. Let's listen to that. You know these Motown songs. You know these Motown songs, Harry. You know they're 2 minutes. I forget on Mondays, Motown Mondays. These songs they not like. These ain't Earth, Wind & Fire songs. These songs are 2 minutes. If you see a 3-minute song on a Motown song, you really had hit the jackpot. Because they go 2 minutes. They're like, listen, we're going to get the song in and we're going to sing it, and that's it. Boom, out. So I stayed up and I watched the James Comey interview. And, you know, Harry, I'm always taken aback at the so-called naivete of people who work in politics. Government is politics. Even though he wasn't elected to the office, he's still in the political realm. And this whole, listen, I understand greatly that Trump is a different animal than they are accustomed to. He's not truthful. He has no integrity. But he's cunning and he's smart. So, Comey did a lot of things wrong for my money. First of all, he didn't respect his boss, sister girl, who told him. So he goes has a press conference unbeknownst to her, without her.
Loretta Lynch.
Yes, unbeknownst to Loretta Lynch, and without her permission. I don't know what job you could do that on. I don't know what job, Harry, you could go and say, you know what, I don't care what my boss say, I'm going to go do this because I feel compelled some kind of way. So now forever he's going to be known for the guy who sort of did this thing. Second of all, he keeps walking into these meetings with Trump like somehow or other there's going to be a different outcome. You already, listen, when somebody new comes to your job, Harry, you get the 411 on what they're about, right? Everybody's whispering, oh, So is he going to tell me?
Especially when it's a new boss.
Right? He going to tell me you don't know what you up against? Yeah. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it. He might be a nice guy, but he's
Loretta
stupid.
Lynch put out a statement yesterday morning before the interview aired, saying that she had plenty of conversations with him face to face, and he never told her he felt uncomfortable about anything. And all of a sudden now he's writing that she made him feel uncomfortable when stuff. She's like, we had plenty of face to faces.
That's your boss, Harry.
Right. So if you had a problem with something, you should have said.
And listen, you didn't just come out of law school yesterday. You've been in this game 30, 40 years. And you mean to tell me that you have a boss that you feel some kind of way and you don't know how to maneuver those waters? I'm not buying that.
It's a lie, because
it is a lie.
When he was assistant FBI director under Mueller in the Bush administration, he went and he butted heads with Ashcroft, the attorney general at that time, and he threatened to quit over stuff.
That's
right?
true.
So now suddenly he's a wallflower. He can't say anything or do anything. Come on.
I had on a blue suit, so I was trying to blend in with the with the curtains.
Come on.
I'm like, you know what? I think there's a piece in here that's missing. I think he was ambitious. I think he wanted to be a player, and he's figured out early on, oh, I can't play with these cats because they on a whole different level than what I'm willing to do. And so therefore, because I think he was trying to curry favor. I really do. I think he was trying to curry favor with this president, thinking that I'm going to be the guy. I'm not buying that whole.
And when he said he was operating under the assumption that Hillary was going to win.
But what does that got to do with anything? I operate under the assumption that I'm going to eat dinner.
Well,
so what?
So the thing is that, so he was operating under that assumption, and he didn't want her presidency to be tarred with this, because, for them to say that her presidency she got in because he didn't investigate. But it's the same thing is still being said. And he made it worse.
I think he made it worse. Because I'm like, first of all, you don't get to decide those things. You have a boss.
Well, and the thing is that his position It's not. It's not. Yeah, he's dealing with political people, but he's the FBI director. Your decisions are you get orders from the attorney general and you follow those orders.
Right. That's what you do.
You're not running for office.
Yes, you.
So those decisions aren't in your hands.
They're not. And for you to take that tag, I was like, what? Stop it. So I wasn't. But I think
a lot of the stuff.
I think he was right on saying that this president is morally shouldn't be the president. I get that, but I think, you come into this job, you've handled mob people, mobsters who could still do you in, right? Could do you in, your people, everybody, because that's how mobs get down. You understand Cosa Nostra. You understand all that stuff, all of it. And then you get in here and you act as though, I'm like, you done seen this story. If you think he's operating like a mob boss, then what should you do? Then you treat him like a mob boss and operate accordingly. What playbook are you playing from, son?
He made no sense.
He made none.
No
I was
sense.
going to buy the book, Harry, but when I saw this interview, I was like, what? First of all, you disrespected your boss's wishes from jump.
Well, and then the reason he leaked.
Oh, and then that whole leak thing. I wasn't feeling that either. I was like, well, how are you? Wait a minute.
But it's like he didn't want any other TV station being upset because he chose. But he's on ABC with freaking Stephanopoulos. You made a choice tonight, right? It's like, come on.
I knew I needed to send it this, I needed to get this information out. Like, it just sounded petty. I'm like, what? I don't know.
And then he sounded like Marco Rubio, right? Because there's a portion of his book where he says he has smaller hands than I did. It's like,
whatever.
okay.
I was just like, whatever. I liked his wife, but she was pissed off. I know there was some arguments in that house. She was like, you caused Hillary to fail with this foolishness. You go on this press junket and you don't even, there's no reason for it. Like, there's no real reason for it. There's no reason for it. And it's not your call.
He said his wife's, his wife and daughters are political, but not him. Yeah, you sure?
Yeah. Stop it. See, you know what? I don't like that either. And the fact that he said he didn't vote, I was like, stop it. Why would I want? Then you know what? I don't want you to be FBI director because you're stupid.
Exactly.
You don't deserve to be it because you're not very bright.
He's trying to be. Like,
I don't know what he's trying to be.
Better than everybody.
I guess.
And nobody's better than nobody. Right?
Well, he's failing.
It's just like
because he sounds like a fool.
The moral compass stuff. Come on.
You sound like a fool.
Do your job.
So you mean to tell me my Sora Loretta Lynch was what? Morally incompetent? I'm trying to understand what your thinking is. That's your boss. She said shh, and you yapping.
And then what's the name of his book? Like, it's higher loyalty or something?
Higher loyalty. What's your higher loyalty to? What?
Loyal to what?
I don't understand any of that. Like, go hide in the drapes again. Put on another blue suit and blend into the drapes because you're just foolish. But you're gonna make a lot of money. The book gonna sell. You're gonna make some money, and then you can retire. Be all right.
I think they're ready.
You know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of these privileged white men who think that they don't have to answer to anybody. They don't have to answer to anybody.
They don't have to answer to anybody. They can make whatever judgments
they can make
want.
whatever judgments they want. Because his boss told him, shh. Yeah. And what he do? I'm going to go hold a press conference. A whole press conference, Harry. And then got in trouble in the press conference because, the reporters are going to ask the questions they want to answer. They're not going to ask the questions you think they're going to answer. They're going to ask what they want to ask. And then you get caught up because you can't answer these questions. Oh, I just wanted to say this. No. You're in front of us. We're going to ask these questions. Who told you to do this, sir? Harry, I had enough. Between that and Starbucks, Beyonce saved the weekend. I heard some good jazz. Went over to the Morse house. Heard Nicholas Payton give a good talk on Black American music and jazz. And he gave a talk that was very Wakanda-esque. It was very. He did everything but like do the Wakanda forever. He did everything but that. So that was a good conversation. My good friend Andrew popped through, hung out with us for a minute for the talk. And then let's see, Saturday we went to the Noodle House. We saw the talk. Saturday night we went to the concert. It was really good. Oh no! Shout out to Gary Tenney. He had a big retirement party. I didn't go to that, but I heard it was long and pretty good. So congratulations to him. Let's see. I gotta share some information. So the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, we're having a we do these conversations that matter, and a part of the conversations that matter is we do Deltas at City Hall, Delta Day at City Hall, which is coming up April 26th. And so the theme of this year's Deltas at City Hall is understanding and ending sexual harassment. So we're gonna have a whole thing on from 6 to 8 p.m. Thursday, April 6th at City Hall. We'll have refreshments. And if you have a harassment story or a harassment conversation to share, call 203-450-6422. 203-450-6422. We're collecting these stories to share during that time at City Hall for Delta Day at City Hall because we are trying to raise awareness around what harassment is, what it looks like, sexual harassment, what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it feels like. And so we're asking people if they want to share, just leave a message or leave your story at 203-450-6422 and just leave your story if you have a story to tell, and we'll play it. You can leave it anonymously. You don't have to put your name to it if you don't want to. You can just share your story, and we're figuring out a way to sort of play it, so people can hear these stories in our own backyard in real time. So so just think about that as you and I think I'll be saying this for the next few days up until the moment, so that people can really participate. So it's a Google number, so you can just leave a message. We're not gonna track you. We're not gonna follow up or any of that kind of thing. You can say your name or not. Just share your story, and we're not judging it. We're not corroborating it. We're not doing anything. We just want to collect the stories of women or men, for that matter, who know something about sexual harassment from a very personal place. So that's where we are. I'm telling you, Harry. It's been
I'm reading here that he said he wouldn't have changed the way he handled the Hillary Clinton probe.
Well, then why are you?
Why are you talking about regrets?
Yeah. What do you regret? You regret that you didn't wear a blue suit that day? That you should have wore a pink suit? What? I just walked away feeling like, what? There's something, there's some not truth telling in this whole thing. But, George Stephanopoulos hung in there. He was like asking the hard questions. Because I think George Stephanopoulos, now I'm not a fan of him because I think he gives people too much of a pass. But he was getting in there pretty good. He didn't go far enough because the dossier wasn't started by Hillary Clinton. It was started way before that. They got wind of it and became a part of it, but the dossier wasn't theirs.
Right, the dossier was started by the Washington Times,
but they didn't.
And then they dropped it, and the Hillary Clinton campaign.
But they didn't. They never said that. They keep the narrative going of that it was incubated there, and it wasn't. So
it wasn't incubated there.
I know, but they don't. He didn't press that. He didn't press that. He didn't press that.
But my thing with George Stephanopoulos, like I was watching it this morning before I left, and he said the biggest thing that he got out of it was that Comey said there's a possibility that the Russians have something on Trump. It's a possibility of everything.
Yeah.
If he would have said there's a probability, or the play on words is important because it's possible to do anything.
Mm.
So the possibility that the Russians have something on Babs,
They do.
right? It's a possibility. Everybody.
I like brown. Look at it. Cannot lie.
Makes no sense.
Oh my God. I need I'm thinking I might need a break from social media or something. I just need a break from news, and I just need a break. How about that? A break. And I just feel like
I had a break.
I think I would
Watched
just
hospital channels.
which is
TV.
what, daytime TV?
Yeah, just
Mindless.
basic cable.
Oh God.
So I was just like,
And that'll make you mad, basic cable.
and watching whatever Spanish show my mother was watching.
Telenuva.
Like,
Telemundo. The novellas.
Yep.
I love them. Those beautifully coiffed hair, those glossed up lips. I love. Oh my God. All right, I gotta go. Monday. I'll be back tomorrow. Play us out with a little ooh, baby love. Yes. Ooh.